A new year means new laws in California, a whopping total of 770 bills. Many of them are a mix of proposals initiated by the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as issues that have been debated for years. And several of the laws mark national firsts. First, minimum wage to reach $15 an hour. First, to require gender-neutral displays. And first, to protect warehouse workers from quotas. Another first in the nation is AB 468, which cracks down on fraudulent practices concerning emotional support animals. The legislation, which attracted bipartisan support in the State Assembly and Senate, also protects public access rights for people with legitimate service dogs, such as guide dogs or service dogs for physical disabilities. Hear one woman's story of how her service dog helped her reclaim her life after a medical procedure went terribly wrong.
Come on up. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a good boy. What a good boy.
There is nothing quite like the love and affection of a dog. But for Annette Ramirez, her dog Patch is much more than just a pet. He's a trained service dog that helped turn her life around after she became a quadruple amputee.
How can anybody understand the impact of going into the hospital for routine surgery and waking up 4 months later and not having any arms and legs?
A wife and mother to 2 kids, Annette worked full-time at USC as a reunion coordinator and did a lot of volunteerism in 2012 when she went into the hospital for a hysterectomy. But her colon was cut during the surgery, and she developed severe sepsis.
Ultimately, I was put into a 4-month medically induced coma, and during that time, the sepsis had gotten so severe that my limbs began to gangrene, and they ended up having to amputate all 4 limbs.
Annette's doctor told her that she would have to reinvent herself and learn an entirely new way of doing everything. He suggested she get a service dog, and then a friend connected her with Canine Companions, a national organization that trains service dogs and then connects them with people with physical disabilities to assist with daily tasks and increase their independence.
They actually do puppy training classes every few weeks with other puppy raisers. So that goes on for 18 months. Then after that, the dog matriculates back to Canine Companions and is trained professionally for another 1.5 to 2 years, depending on the dog.
It took Annette almost 2 years to get into the Canine Companion program, and then she had to go through extensive training before she was paired with Patch. 5 years later, Patch helps Annette with everything, from picking up items she drops on the floor,
Get Patch, lap,
to alerting people that she needs assistance, like getting her husband to open the front door after a walk.
Patchy.
Annette has become very involved in Canine Companions and some of its causes, like co-sponsoring AB 468. The bill, which is now a law in California, will impose various requirements designed to curb emotional support animal fraud. The new law also sends a clear message that special accommodations should be reserved for trained and certified service dogs and the people they serve.
It really upsets me personally when people think that these emotional support dogs can be at the same level as a service dog. It adds to the discrimination factor of disabled people and also could hurt having service dogs access to public places.
Wallace Brosman has been a handler for 3 service dogs through Canine Companions. She says service dogs are often the victims of attacks by untrained emotional support dogs. A dog named Mork that she was training had to be retired early after multiple incidents.
During our 2.5-year partnership together, he was actually attacked by untrained dogs in public places and airports and those types of situations. And it made him develop such concern over dogs in public that he could no longer perform his job, and that meant he could no longer help me be independent.
For Annette, having Patch in her life has changed how she feels about herself and the world around her.
He has brought my confidence back. Because first, when I go out in public, they see this beautiful white angel, and then they see my disabilities second. And I think they are more able to approach me now because it's like, oh, can I see your dog? And it gives me an opportunity to tell people about Canine Companions and about Patch, but also about people with disabilities.